Hey everybody, this is WWE Champion CM Punk, and you are watching PlayStation Access.
If you look directly ahead, you'll see Access episode 58, which has all of this in it. An exclusive behind-the-scenes interview with WWE superstar CM Punk, a studio visit to Codemasters Racing for F1 race stars. We've got all the latest news in PlayStation Briefing. But first, it's fibre wire, sharp suits and scalp wax galore in our Game of the Week, Hitman Absolution.
If you live on a staple PS3 diet of stealth games, then 2012 has probably seen you well and truly stuffed.
Dishonored was the starter, let's call it a prawn cocktail. It was sophisticated, multi-layered and had fish in it. Then came the main course of Assassin's Creed 3, or Meat Feast Pizza, a tasty mix of flavours that mostly had you feeling guilty about all the animals you killed.
And now, if you'll let me stretch this tired metaphor a little further, comes the best bit, the dessert, Hitman Absolution. Go on, guess what Hitman Absolution is?
It's Eton mess, and I can't be bothered to explain why that particular pudding is a good analogy for the return of Agent 47, other than I really like both of them. I especially like creeping up on people, garrotting them with fibre wire and nicking their clothes before stuffing them in a bin. And happily, Absolution lets you do all four of those. Then you get to murder people while dressed up like a chavvy Bono. It's not just about looking pretty or stupid, or pretty stupid, however. Learning the art of disguise is crucial to infiltrating enemy ranks, hiding amongst them in plain sight while presumably they just think you're a new member of staff.
Rob, where's the computer gone?
I left it with that new bald guy. With the guns, the one that was in this morning.
With the barcode?
Yeah.
And the death stare?
Yeah.
Story-wise, Absolution sees Agent 47 struggling with inconvenient things called emotions, as he's assigned to take out former agency handler turned traitor Diana, a struggle that eventually results in 47 not only going rogue, but also obeying one of my golden rules of narrative for everything.
Bob's golden rules of narrative for everything.
Number 462. When going rogue, remove an item of clothing.
Bob's golden rules of narrative for everything.
In this case, it's the iconic red tie that gets the chop as 47 prowls through a narrative filled with twists, really nice particle and lighting effects, and a helicopter. Although he still finds time for the odd birthday party.
I don't know. I swear to God.
Wrong answer. Happy birthday to you.
And while the occasional jolt of Uncharted-style action injects a welcome change of pace into all the slowly throttle necky, the best new addition in Hitman Absolution is Instinct Mode. Activated with a touch of R1, this allows 47 a Batman-like view of his surroundings, showing enemy positions, patrol routes, and most importantly, items you can interact with.
And it really pays to explore as well. You'll often stumble upon new ways to assassinate targets or be able to mess with things. Oh, good.
Pisano! I'm on it, sir!
Yeah, Visano, come on.
I'm on it!
There we go, good. You can, of course, turn Instinct Mode off completely if you're one of those masochistic Hitman purist types, but then you'd miss loads of amazing stuff and die all the time. And no one wants that when Hitman Absolution launches on PS3 on November the 20th. I don't think anyone really wants this either, do they?
If it's not in here, then it's not important. It's time for your PlayStation Briefing. Moving into slightly more violent territory now, we catch up with Visceral Games' Steve Papoutsis to talk Dead Space 3. More specifically, co-op in Dead Space 3, and how it's not going to be as rubbish as everyone first thought.
We didn't want the co-op to interfere with what the single player felt like. We wanted co-op to feel additive. We didn't want people to feel like, oh man, now I have to play it. You don't have to play it. You can play single player and it feels like a Dead Space game you've played in the past. But if you choose to play co-op and enjoy it with a friend, you're going to get more story details about Carver. He is a soldier, but he's dealing with his own inner demons, and you got to see what that looks like when you're playing co-op.
And finally, big news for all fans of amazing sci-fi trilogies and steamy alien love triangles. The Mass Effect trilogy is coming to PS3. This mega box set marks the original Mass Effect's PlayStation debut and means you can make all those game-changing story decisions in an actual game instead of a 15-minute interactive comic. Get ready to look awesome and save the galaxy all over again when the Mass Effect trilogy launches in the UK on December the 7th. That's all for Briefing for now. We'll be back with more news next week. Digital deals abound now. It's the week's best from On The Store. Bit of a brain teaser this one. How does something as massive as Call of Duty cram itself onto PlayStation Vita? Like that, apparently. This is Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified, the game with loads of shooting, loads of noise, loads of multiplayer and 2 whole colons. It's available from the Vita store right now and means your journey to work now comes with added swears. When Vikings attack, everyone dies. We see a global resurgence in blonde facial hair. Oh no, wait, you get this brilliantly wacky PSN title mostly involving teaming up in gangs and lobbing bits of furniture and or rock at, other gangs. It's crossplay enabled too, meaning you can battle someone on a PlayStation Vita with your PS3 and vice versa. Plus you get both versions with one download. Bargain! You Scandinavians should invade more often. If you still don't like the cropped hair and low-cut vest of New Dante, then you can ignite your nostalgia for the original Platinum Haired Wonder by downloading the Devil May Cry HD collection, available from the store today. This bundle includes Devil May Cry's 1, 2 and 3, all of which still hold up against the best action titles of today. Plus there's a giant spider thing made of lava. Welcome to Bonus Level, where this week we invaded the headquarters of Codemasters Racing for a whistle-stop studio tour, before catching up with senior producer Chris Gray and art director Harvey Parker to talk all things F1 race stars.
Right from the start, we wanted to create a game that played differently. I think that's absolutely what we've done. It just seemed to make so much sense. Take biggest motorsport on the planet, probably the biggest racing genre on the planet, and combine the two together. This isn't just another karting game. We set out day one, it's like we have to have four-way split screen. It's really important that we got that sort of sofa playing, because I think that's where karting games come to life. What we didn't want to do is give it as an either-or option. So if you wanted to take a split screen game online, then absolutely you should be allowed to do that.
You may know everything about the sport, you may know nothing about the sport, and it's just a good fun party game. There's skill in there, but there's also that game of chance. Lewis did request that his ears were made a little smaller. It was a fair comment, and actually we made the change in it. It looked better, it looked more like him, so yeah, absolutely fair play to the guy.
It's a cartoon, Lewis, and you've got to admit your ears are pretty big. A huge thanks to Chris, Harvey and everyone at Codemasters Racing. F1 Race Stars hits PS3 on November the 16th, and you can watch us beating the dev team at their own game by heading to youtube.com/PlayStation Access. We thought we'd keep it quiet on Access All Areas this week, what with all the Amazo games doing the rounds. So we went to see WWE Raw at Birmingham's LG Arena. Turns out this wrestling lark is quite popular, as this moderately sized queue for the merchandise stand and that fabulous gold dust costume, yes, hello, can attest. Then we did this interview with some guy called CM Punk, who's the WWE champion and cover star of WWE 13 on PS3. So CM, what's the best thing about the game?
I think the cover is pretty awesome, huh? It's, fairly amazing as a kid who, like any kid, played video games and, grew up being a fan of pro wrestling. To be on the cover of a wrestling video game is pretty amazing. As far as playing goes, I think the Attitude Era feature is pretty cool. The fact that you can blow up the ring is pretty cool too. I think people are very, very passionate about the few years that have been coined Attitude Era. So it's kind of taken on a life of its own. But yeah, I mean, hopefully in a few years it'll be the CM Punk era, and I can beat John Cena in the video game like I do in real life. Not the biggest gamer, not huge, but I do dabble, I like to say. But I'm more of an old school guy. I'm more of a, I guess, fighting games kind of thing. Wrestling games like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, stuff like that.
Thanks, Mr. Punk. Any ideas on the cover star for WWE 14? Ryback, perhaps?
No.
Didn't think so. A massive thanks to CM Punk for being so handsome and friendly. And if you want to see this interview in full, including Punk's thoughts on comic books, being straight edge and the state of WWE, head to youtube.com/PlayStation Access. And don't forget, WWE 13 is out on PS3 right now. Before we go, we'll leave you with this.
Hey Kim, we're just heading out. Are you coming?
Oh, no, you're alright. I've got to stay late and get on with this.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Bye. Yeah, come on. I've got you now. Got you in the snug lock. Yes. That's it, punk. Beg. Come on.
I've got my phone.
Please don't tell anyone.